Hey, this is Chris at Art Secret Studio, and I finally got to the point of today, 23 minutes into the talk. There can only be one. One color must dominate. And when I'm looking at your painting, I'm sensing a color that carries your message, and it has to be put everywhere. When you selectively tone a canvas, blue in one area, red in another area, green in another area, you have fragmented it, and there isn't one. There's 6 colors, and they're saying, look at me. So you're going to have to add a color, like a dominant color, that you put everywhere. Now that's different than a dominant gray, and we're not even going to go there. That's a different conversation, 5 different ways to lower the intensity of a color. But in your head, you're going to have to add colors in the painting that support your message. Does that mean in this painting's example of the yellow painting in Venice, nothing is being painted? This is a yellow ochre tone canvas. If I tone this yellow ochre very, very lightly, almost white, I'm putting cad yellow pale down, and I'm putting cad yellow and cad orange, and I'm juxtaposing colors here. And I'm not using any of the psychological color in my head. You see, in this painting, I saw the calmness of the day as the key to the painting. And I'm going to play off the exciting blue sun against the calmness of the day. And I want the excitement to be the most important and the calmness second. But I need a color in the calmness of the day that supports this warm, beautiful feeling. Psychological. And I'm seeing it in the stonework, in the woodwork, in the browns, in some of the grays, in the browns. And that's the color I'm going to impregnate into the other colors of the painting. I'll scumble it in, I'll paint it in, I'll put it in, I won't. I'll put broken touches of color in. And in every painting that changes. So if I go to this painting, it's about many colors, so I'll probably tone it yellow ochre. Now all of a sudden I wash it in with yellow ochre, then Viridian, and then manganese blue, and I gotta gray it a little bit. I choose how much to gray it. It may be not this gray. The iPad is much prettier than this print anyhow. The iPad doesn't have to add black to the pigment. So your photo will always have black in it. Your iPad will never have black in it. Gosh, I wonder why I like my iPad better than the photo. Can't imagine, I'm such a black fan. Yeah? So the problem is I need to pick a color, and I like the pretty blue on the edge here, and I can stick it between the halftone area, between the green and the shadow right in here. I can stick it in the shadows here. I can stick it in the shadow, in the bricks in here. And I'm going to take a color and put it everywhere. Or maybe I like the warmth of the orange and the sun, and I'm picking one of these orangey colors, and I'm going to put it in the rocks, and I'll put it in the water, and I'll put it in the stone, I'll put it in the trees. I choose. I choose. So I'm saying one part of the painting is absolutely beautiful, but that may not always carry the message. Sometimes maybe it does. Then I take it and put it in other things. But maybe sometimes other colors carry the message, and that's the color where you're saying there can only be one. Yellow orange color that represents the beach at a certain time of the year and a certain warmth. And it's almost this orangey brown color that I'm seeing everywhere that I think is the key to the painting. Okay. She could have toned it burnt sienna. and she might have had a faster time of it getting to where she was at. Was toned yellow ochre?
It's where the bird sienna would come through the sky.
Oh, the opaque yellow. It is transparent. Yellow burnt sienna is tough. It is. Okay, you could do when no one's looking, and if they don't listen to me, you could do burnt sienna and then kind of wipe some off in the sky and just leave a tinge of it. But people can't know you did that. I'm not saying I've done things like that. And I'm okay with it because it's in the same family. But if you lighten up a blue in this painting and it's brown, you're in trouble. You know, it'll be fragmented. Okay, so you know you toned it the right color when you're not frantically covering the canvas. Okay, now here's the cool thing. There's a layering effect, and I'm going to do this from behind and zoom in. There's a layering effect that as Lori starts painting these trees and she starts to put green in, yeah, it does look like Innis. But there's greens and there's browns and there's, and you can even see way in the right-hand corner, you can see the transparent colors. You know, you see this transparent color sneaking in right there. So there's transparent colors in some of these areas that were left early. Now it looks like it's all transparent, but you can see early stages that were left. Well, only nuts like me are looking for that. And then if you go to other parts of the painting, now all colors change temperature. So remember that orangey brown? In an apple, yellow, orange, red, cad red deep, alizarin, shadow side, alizarin, magenta, violet. That transparent color could be burnt sienna with violet, burnt sienna with alizarin, because it's an apple. So that orange mother color still changes temperature.
Okay.
Still reads as orange. Thank you, Monet. So it's not that I'm saying add orange everywhere. Add orangey brown everywhere. That color changes temperature. On the girl with the yellow hat, she has Cad Orange by Gamblin on her highlight. In between her halftone. It is her halftone, between the light and the shadow on her cheek. And then it went to Winsor Newton's orange, cooler. And then it went to scarlet. So I was putting orange everywhere. It was just orange was changing temperature as it moved in space. Are we getting a little clearer here? Okay, so when I go down to her grass, okay, well, she's got transparent colors in there. She's got greens, and she's got what? Her dominant color is in there, her browns. You're going to have to harmonize. You're going to have to find a color that dominates for you. And it will change temperature, so as it moves, you move. Now, here's the problem. And I'm making this up as we go. I'm just kind of thinking there might be issues. One of the problems is if I have so much in shadow and yellow, brown, orangey brown is my message, and I'm putting all these purples everywhere, then did I guess wrong? Is that not the right color? Or, you know, am I finding the right places to do this? So in the darker parts, she can go cooler. But in the warmer parts, she's got to rely on that orangey brown to peek through to keep the sun out. You need the cool to make the sun look warm. But if you use too much cool, it won't look warm. And yet it changes temperature. Well, this is your problem, not mine. Okay? So you're going to have to find places to put the warm orangey red in. And she has. Look at it along the edges of the water, right? Where the water meets the grass. And in the lighter parts of the green. That's her painting. That's your painting. and you feel it. So if I back up and I kind of go, this is just a beautiful painting, and that paint cup on the floor there, that it looks real. Yeah. Yeah. So what am I saying here? I'm picking one color in a painting that I want to be everywhere. And sometimes I wash it in and leave it. And other times I'm having to add it to the wet paint.
So if I were to do something like this again, you're thinking, because what I did was I did turn a really light yellow ochre.
And therefore it could fight you the whole time.
I did wash in burnt sienna. And all those
Okay.
I did do that because I knew I wanted to glow.
Yeah. They'll see, there's your word. That orange glow was the burnt sienna. I rest my case. She convicted herself.
No, but if I were to say anything I should do.
No, I think this painting is absolutely beautiful, and I don't know if I would change it. If I had another landscape similar to this in one way, I might do the exact same thing, but take the burnt sienna and really thin it out at the yellow areas, and then go a little stronger and hope Richard doesn't realize. Are you saying then we could selectively tone areas? Because that's where we're going next. I mean, he's going to say it in like a minute here. I like the burnt sienna everywhere. No, you never use a medium when you're toning the first day.
You're talking about the first day still, so yellow ochre and then burnt sienna.
First couple days, I don't know if I use a medium. I try to do as much as I can with paint because I am using transparent colors. The medium and I don't get along the first days. Brush cleaner. Gamma sol.